All right, today we are here covering the XRP Las Vegas event, and it's going to be a good one because we wanted to find out a little bit more about the XRP Army and how they invest in the future. Joining me, of course, is Jake Boyle, coming in from Caleb & Brown. How are you?
Very good. How are you doing today?
Good to see you.
Likewise.
Listen, we've got a lot going on here at the event. You and I had a chance to kind of talk here pre-show, and one thing that is clearly noticeable is the type of community that is being built around XRP. And I heard Vibhu say this on stage, it's quite possibly the most passionate community on the entire internet.
Yeah. In terms of the cryptocurrency landscape, there is no question that it's the most passionate by a mile.
Yeah.
You know, the Bitcoin maxis, Ethereum, Solana communities, they're put to rest when it comes to the noise of this kind of conference here. Beyond that as well, the following is so unique because it's not like a following where people are just investors.
Right.
I just want to put some money in this and hope the price goes up. People want to know what projects are being launched on it. What is Ripple doing behind the scenes? What companies are using their products? They're actively involved in the community beyond just price action. And I think that's evidence. You know, we're in a bit of a bear market right now, but the energy levels are even higher than they were last year when XRP was a higher price point. I think it's big.
Well, and I think the point is you look at the adoption curve of a new crypto investor. We've had a chance to see it here on the show over the last several years. And one thing that I've noticed about the XRP community is when they go in all the way.
Yeah.
So when you look at the DNA of an investor coming into crypto today, typically XRP, maybe Bitcoin and Ethereum are in the top three of how it comes together. It kind of dictates how products are being built. So what are you guys doing for the XRP community right now?
Yeah, so we work very closely with Ripple. We've got our main office in Melbourne, Australia, and they've got one in Singapore, so not too far away. We've had several meetings back and forth with them, and we're trying to find what products and what innovation is happening in the broader ecosystem that we can plug in to grow our business even more.
Okay.
Because, you know, we've been buying and selling XRP since, almost 10 years now, like as long as I can remember, and we were very proud that we continued to service XRP during the whole SEC matter when major exchanges were wanting to offboard it. Beyond that though, so we integrate Ripple payments, so we can actually pay people US dollars. We send and receive US dollars using Ripple products. We're also really curious about the Hidden Road acquisition.
Yes.
And I think Ripple Prime, I think they've rebranded that too now. And what that means in terms of having a market maker, can we use that to then offer things like yield on XRP?
Right.
Can we then offer yield on XRP, but then service complicated entities and do estate planning and all those things as well?
Right.
Bundle that all together. It means we can do really well. The clients are super happy, and we're a part of the Ripple ecosystem beyond just offering the XRP token to buy.
Getting into the DNA of how an investor picks a product or an investment. You look at these kinds of investors here, we talked a little bit about, they go all in. It's one of those things right now that we're continuing seeing new people coming into the space. When you look at the DNA of an XRP investor, and maybe someone that's coming on to Caleb & Brown, what are you finding in terms of what type of demographic is it?
Yeah, look, we've got clients all around the world. We've got clients who have just finished university. We've got clients who've got grandkids that are older than me.
Okay.
Everyone is welcome in our business, and what we find is the cryptocurrency space really does, at this point of its adoption, attract people from all walks of life. That being said, the average XRP investor that we have is typically someone who's quite discerning. It's someone who really values things like privacy and sovereignty, and they want to be a part of a different future.
Right.
They don't want to just tweet about it and talk about it. They want to put their money where their mouth is.
Yep.
So they find that the average XRP user we have is more engaged with the community than the average, say, Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever the case may be, investor. And in addition to that, they really believe in the kind of direction the world is going in, and they want to be a part of that. So they don't just want to say, we're moving into this world where the traditional banks and the old guard is going to go to the side, and I'm going to sit back and do nothing.
Right.
Like, I'm going to be a part of the community. I'm going to go to these events. I'm going to invest in the assets that are going to form that future. And it's really exciting to work with them because they're passionate and they're happy to take a call at 7 a.m. on a Sunday morning.
There you go. I think that's the cool part, is just their passion for the industry has been unmatched. And I think one thing that I've learned from not only this event, but others that have really indicated maybe where the new trends are heading. You look at the yield-bearing products that are out there. Obviously, with Clarity, we could get that challenged.
Yep.
What would you say in, say, a year would be some of the big products that will be hitting the market for crypto investors?
Yep.
Are you still looking at DeFi? Are you looking at new credit cards that are being generated around this? How can I use my assets better than what I have been?
Yeah, the number one thing we're looking at right now is safe yield.
Okay.
When I say safe yield, I mean yield where you know exactly who the counterparty is. How is the yield being generated? If it's variable, what range are we looking at?
Right.
All the fine details, none of this page 25 fine print nonsense that we
I like
see.
it.
And then in addition to that, is there a way that we can offset some of that yield with insurance? So we can say there's a degree of guarantee still tied to the security and custody of the assets.
Okay.
We don't like the idea of saying you can have insurance on your custody if we do this, or you can lose that insurance, but you get a yield. We'd like to find a middle ground there.
I think that's something that these kinds of investors would find very valuable, because this is one of the concerns. I know a lot of people have been asking about DeFi, the risk that you see in bridges, what the challenge is right now for the industry, because we have not seen XRP until what Flare did, of being able to really put it to work in DeFi.
Yeah.
This of course changes things up a bit. When you look at the top 3 things for what an investor is tracking right now, clarity, here in the US, the Fed in terms of a potential rate cut, and then the issue of just market sentiment right now, because you've got all-time high in the S&P, but crypto sentiment not so well. What do you, out of those 3, what do you think matters most?
Yeah, I think the Clarity Act is going to be a bigger deal than what people think, because it's not just a one-time news item that gives us a bit of a pump. It gives longevity to the protocols and the builders in the space. And with that's going to come a new wave of innovation. The next fantastic project that comes in the space is going to come by virtue of that. And major players like XRP, Ethereum, Solana, the floodgates have completely opened to what they're able to do. And with that clarity will come a better market for investors.
Absolutely. I think this is the key right now. Clarity is going to be the trigger that either gets this thing going, even though I have seen a little bit of a, I won't say backstepping from the industry, but where they have kind of centered around it, looking past what the current situation is, where it may roll into maybe a new House and Senate after the midterm. So we'll see how this plays out. Jake, thanks so much for stopping in today.
Thanks for having me, I appreciate it.
You bet. All right, you guys know what to do. Make sure to like and subscribe. We'll catch you next time right here on the XRP Pod. Take care.